Well, my life before Faber was very unfocused, very undisciplined. I was very selfish, full of chaos with anger and depression all mixed in together. There was an occasion when I had a companion, and this companion is pregnant by me. And because of my addiction, I wasn't willing to lower my pride and my arrogance to get a job and put us in a place, and we lived homeless. I learned a lot by watching, more so than writing. And I can see people do things, and I would go and try it, and I had that confidence up, and then something happened that I couldn't deal with, and I would go and get high, and everything would change. I would be right back down in the bottom of the barrel. I knew I needed to make a good choice. I just didn't have the willingness to do it. The first time I heard the name Faber, it was kind of confusing to me. And I'm like, well, what is Faber? And she said, Faces and Voices of Recovery. And I was like, that's kind of slick. And she sat down and explained to me a little bit about it, what they do. And she made a deal with me and said if I was to embrace serious recovery, that she would be my advocate for life. And they showed me that, them being honest with me, that they're recovering addicts and all this also, that look at where they at now. That's what really got me. And once I saw that regular people sometimes falls on hard times but can get out of it, that encouragement propelled me to a place where I've never felt. What's now possible? Love, responsibility. What's possible for me right now is the fact I have a relationship with my daughter. What's possible for me now is that I can see my mom be proud of me for the changes I've made in my life. The possibility that my sisters are so happy that I am a new person. I want to say thank you by saying I love you, each and every one. Each individual makes up a collective whole. Faber has given me the ability to want to be great.
For us, we have a son who has been battling with addiction since he was probably a teenager. Before Faber, for our family and particularly for our son, life was pretty idyllic. He had a great childhood. It didn't really change dramatically until after high school when he began to go to college, and things slowly but surely began to change. And with that being said, after attending college, it really went downhill. Everything began to be affected: work, friends, family, until he was in his late 20s when he went, finally, we were able to convince him to go to his first inpatient treatment facility. The lowest point for us, I think, was when he began to get in a lot of legal trouble and being arrested and being homeless and not knowing where he was living or who he was with, because he had literally lost communication with his entire family and really all of his friends. Not knowing what to do or where to go, at that point in time, we had no idea who to reach out to for help. I think that when we began to attend these Faber meetings, and as Faber grew and more people began to come, and we could share, like Billy said, our journey and our stories, and we could kind of feed off of one another. It was just remarkable.
And then when we met some other people, then we started to realize we were not the only people that had these major problems. Well, life has changed a great deal. Our son is, as everyone said, is in recovery at the time. At the moment, he now has a family. I think our lives have actually gotten basically back to the way things were many, many years ago.
I'd like to thank Favor for empowering me with the knowledge and the support to take care of myself and my family during this journey. It's been life-changing.
Okay, so I had a normal childhood. I grew up with a great family. I was outgoing, participated in sports in high school, was very involved in student government and everything. So I never really felt that I was any different, but when I picked up alcohol, I really liked it. I started drinking when I was about 15. When my drinking got very heavy, I was in grad school. I felt very anxious and depressed when I was in school, so I started drinking more and more to the point where I would drink going to class. Some days I wouldn't even go into class. I would just drive there and then instead go drink. After grad school, I was very, very lost and depressed and anxious. And my sister-in-law saw a real change in me. I wasn't the same person. I didn't like going to family events. I'm very much involved in my family. So when I started at Favor, I met with Rich Jones for a while. I was very much in denial that I was an alcoholic. I wasn't going to admit I was an alcoholic. I didn't go to meetings. So I ended up having a seizure and ended up in the emergency room, and I reached out to Rich, who assured me that someone would be there, and that is when Bob came to meet with me, much to my surprise, to help me kind of go through the movements of realizing that I needed to get some additional help and go to detox for a while. I decided that a change of scenery would be best and it would help me with my anxiety and depression. But as soon as I moved away, I fell back into my old habits and I fell back into it really hard. After a while, I had had enough mentally and physically. I was just drained. I felt dead inside. I was miserable, asking God to just take this away from me, let me stop drinking. But I couldn't. So I decided it was time to come home. I was only home for a short period when I ended up in the hospital with pancreatitis. And one of my first visitors was actually Bob, again, from Favor. So he was there to reassure me that even though that I'd gone away, the Favor was still there for me, that they'd never left my side. I want to say thank you to Rich and Bob from the bottom of my heart for saving my life and showing me that I can be sober and I can be happy. And also to just everyone at Favor. I love the community and I couldn't do it without each and every single person there.